Okay, so we're back. We're into part 3. So what you need to think of when it comes to this, I mean, you see that wet? It's hard to see. There we go. You see that wetness and whatnot? Uh, that is not a concern to me because I did this delete here, and you can keep your 7.3 filter head, but you might leak from the for your little filter light, and you might leak from your heater, and you might leak from this olive, or you might leak from this olive, or you might leak from this one, and you might be sucking air from there. Easiest thing is to just get away from it. Diesels have been around since before 91. They were more primitive, and people tried to make them better, and everything they did make it better until the things went bad, and then that gave you one more ailment to chase. So with that, we're back to the Great Wall. This, like, even I don't know if you can see it, got a little air bubble right there from one of these hats. I call them hats. One of these injector hats, caps, whatever you want to call them. But because of the elevation of that loop, and even if I let her park and sit and lose prime for a month, I can watch that little air bubble, and anything there, I bet you me and that air bubble been hanging out for a year. But even if this side loses a little PSI prime, we'll call it PSI prime. If you lost prime and sucked air, that's bad. But this, we'll call this roughly 3 to 5 PSI at best, because the down there, way down there on the side of the block is your lift pump. You got to think of that. That's your fuel pump, but it's low PSI, high volume. Think of it, it provides the volume to the bad boy that makes your high PSI. So you got that part. So with this divide, and then we're gonna come over to this highly sophisticated cottage cheese container, and then so we're looking at our 90, but what I've noticed is everybody doing this, they haven't taken the time. There's a 90 and something else. Have you noticed that? Right there. See that teeny tiny little hole? It don't take crap to plug it, hold it open. There's another check valve right there. And then, if I can show you these two side by side, you can see I've made an update. There's, and I don't have the package. I looked for it. I really hunted for it for you guys. But see how much longer it is? It's a much better check valve. Now, with that check valve on here, being our halfway, or the Great Wall of China, whether, even if the old one just needs cleaned out, because some of them are pinned and some of them are rubber baffled, but you're looking at your 90 and you're looking at your check valve. Think of the restaurant. You're sitting there having dinner, you're bored, you put your finger on your straw and you pick that straw up. That's like our fuel system. You're holding prime. Get the new check valve, the updated, the longer one. Take your old one out and get the longer one. It's a much better one. So there you're losing less prime because you're keeping that finger on the straw. And then what happens after here doesn't matter. So we're going into this with, we have since, because of the injector by the filter housing, how I went back to a 6.9, and I actually just put an end boot on it. That one's a T. I had enough parts laying around. I used a different end boot, or actually it might have ended up over here. But either way, you cap that and do not let it go back to the filter housing. Then you have a great wall. These lines, I could pop this line off and let it pee on the ground. And because all it does is it runs back to the tank. The truck don't know the difference of whether it's peeing back into the tank or peeing on the ground. So if you create that line and delete that, and then fix your check valve and hold your finger on the straw, those can leak. It's not a big deal. It's when they're hooked back up to the pre-pump, big injector pump, not lift pump, when they're hooked back up and they get the air bubbles get pre-pumped, that's a bad day. So that's where your problems are coming from if you think it's fuel related. So I wanted to point that out to people. And I'm at the time again that I just don't think I have the computer support. I might have to go into a 4, but I just want to keep giving you a different perspective or a different approach. So I'll be right back with you.